How are you, everybody? It is Monday, and here in America, it is Memorial Day, and I just wanted to hop on and share just a little story or a little gratitude type post. Sorry, I'm just bringing this up. Tanya, what is up? Happy Memorial Day. Hope you're having an awesome day. I wanted to just come on. I don't have like some major like in-depth topic dive today. I just wanted to take today to talk about and share some gratitude with you all. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Okay, Lance, thanks for hopping on. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are having an awesome Memorial Day as well. So, today is a holiday in America. Most people have the day off of work or off school. It's funny, this is the kids' last week of school, so they have Monday off and then they have a really short day on Friday. So it's just like, why even bother? We should have just wrapped it up last week, right? But it's just one of those things. It's kind of funny how those things kind of shake out. But for those of you not from America, Memorial Day is a holiday where we honor and remember those who lost their lives in military service. And so I don't have any like immediate family members who lost their life through military service. My grandfather was a veteran of World War II. Two of my uncles served in the armed forces and things like that. And I'm just super grateful for anyone who has ever answered that call, whether you're in America or whatever country you're from. The accepting the call and the responsibility to serve and help others is just super cool. So I just wanted to take a few minutes today to talk about some of the things that I'm super grateful for and have gratitude for. And then I actually, during the intro, I had a thought of how I could find some little thing about a story and how it translated into revenue. So I'll share that if you guys will humor me there. But I have so much to be grateful for. And the things that I'm most grateful for outside of my normal everyday, I'm always every day very grateful for my family, for my wife, for my kids, for my parents and my sister, my brother, and just how supportive and amazing they are in allowing me to chase this dream that I've been building and everything. And that's every day, all day, every day. That never changes, right? But lately I have been super grateful for challenges, for hardships, and things that make us, stretch us, and get us out of our comfort zone and things like that, right? A lot of you know that I have come from a background of some trials, right? Like I was a financial advisor and I got fired because I wasn't going to hit my sales numbers. And I started my own thing, and like we were renting a family member's basement, and we were on food stamps and Medicaid and all of these things. I was working hard and everything. We all have our stories there. And for me, like I've had a lot of those types of challenges. Financial challenges. I've been through layoffs before I went through the whole financial advisor thing. I was laid off from another job, and that's what got me into the financial world, right? It's just crazy how we have these challenges. And then like over the last year or over the last 6 months or so now, there's just been challenges one after the other, right? And I lost sight of who I was and what I was doing with my business. And I wasn't getting sales, and I wasn't publishing in the right way, and all these kinds of things. But now I am back, right? And I have one person, two. There's a whole bunch, but I'm going to highlight two people personally that have been instrumental in getting me back on the path, back on the road of being the Friendly Giant and crushing it and having engagement and publishing every day and all that stuff. And the first is Nate Ortel. I'm super grateful for him. He and I had a chat one Saturday night late on Zoom, and it was just to kind of, for me to be able to just purge, get all this stuff off my chest, right? And then Janine Suvak, who I talked to the very next morning, and she's the one that helped me get refocused and recentered and all that stuff. And then also Krista McEwen and Ed Langer. They are people that I talk to multiple times a day. They're just super incredible. And so outside of my family, I have these entrepreneur family that have been super inspiring to me and helped me and supported me and encouraged me and understood me when I was frustrated or when I was feeling lost and all these things. And they helped get me back on track. And so first, I'm just super, super grateful. What's up, Mark? Good to have you on, brother. I'm just super grateful for the people that I have in my life, right? And I'm super grateful that I've had challenges, that I haven't had everything laid out for me and have everything perfect, that I've had to struggle and crawl and get punched in the gut and have, fearful nights and tearful nights. And it's not fun when you're going through it. But I am so grateful for the growth that I had as a result. Okay, and with each of us, we have those moments, right? We have those things where we don't get the sale, where we have a slow month, where we have an amazing month, right? And the things that don't change are the things that matter most. Whether you have a killer amazing month or you have a month that you're just struggling and don't get very many sales or much revenue coming in, if you have that foundation of people that you surround yourself with, that their love and support is not going to change regardless of whether you're crushing it or whether you're struggling, right? If you can have that, you are super, super blessed. Okay, and I know that each one of us has at least one person that we can say is that somebody that whether they're right in our immediate family or in a relationship, or somebody that we have in the communities that we belong to online. Every one of us has somebody, and that's the cool thing. And I just want to, I'm just so full of gratitude for you guys. Okay. I just got the goosebumps thinking about it, but it's just like, you guys show up every day. You listen to me talk, and you listen to me teach, and you listen to me get on my soapbox in some points. But you come every day, and you have no idea how much that means to me, right? My videos don't get thousands or millions of views yet. I'm still in the low hundreds, right? I'm getting like 200 or 300 views on my videos right now. And that's okay. And that will grow. But the thing that's amazing is in those 200 or 300, there are a core of you that are coming back every single time. And I'm so grateful for you, because as I started this, this video series, right? This will be the 5th week that I've been going through and doing this. I have, some days I'm like, wow, is anybody really going to care about that? All those things. But the fact that there is a core of you that come every day, or if you can't be there live, you watch on the replay, right? It means so much to me to know that what I'm doing is useful to people, but also that I'm being heard. And it's just a cool experience. So I want to thank each and every single one of you for the support that you've given me over the years, but especially in the last 5 weeks, how you guys have been, as I was rebooting and getting things going again with Friendly Giant Films, and I did a workshop and I'm doing all these things, how amazing it is that as I started giving of myself again and teaching and sharing and just being me, how things just improved. And so if there's one lesson that I can share with you guys, I'm all about publishing and getting your stories out there, right? When you do it and you're consistent, there are people who are going to show up again and again and again and again. And there will be millions, right? Right. For now, there's billions of people who have no idea who I am, right? Or they don't know who I am yet. I'm trying to, put that little phrase on. But though there are so many who don't know me yet, the ones who show up are the ones who are going to get the best of me, right? I love being able to serve and give and help you guys in any way that I can. I've had tons of conversations with so many people, giving them ideas, listening to their story, giving them feedback, and not charging them a penny, right? And then there are those who are ready to actually implement, spend some time and implement, and have budgets or are willing to invest some money to get those things done. And it's just amazing how when you mix all of that together, how fulfilled you can be, right? Regardless of what kind of business it is, when you can help and serve and do the thing that you love to benefit other people's lives, and also just to spend time with people, to let them know they're not alone, to let them know they're valued, and all these kinds of things. All of that comes together and it's so fulfilling. Travis, what is up, dude? Thanks for hopping on. And for me, when I see that, it just gets me so happy and so filled with gratitude, right? Because I have that ability, I have that blessing to be able to do that every day. And it's with you guys who show up every day for these lives, who comment on my stuff, who send me messages. I truly, truly value you and love and appreciate the support that you've given me, okay? So a couple of days ago on my personal profile, I'll get the link to it and I'll drop it here in the comments. I shared a video that was my dad actually telling a story about after the September 11th attacks, how he just kind of a little bit of insight into what was going through his mind and his heart, that led him to go drive around with a bunch of firefighters across the country. Now, I've shared part of that story with this hoodie, right? If you haven't heard the story about this FDNY hooded sweatshirt, go back. Last week I talked about it, and 2 or 3 weeks before I talked about it, how you can increase the value of things with stories, okay? So go and watch that. But when you follow your heart, I'm a big proponent of turning this off and turning this on, right? Not letting your mind talk your heart out of doing something. Don't ever let that happen, okay? And this story that my dad shared about what was going through his heart at the time of the September 11th attacks. He's a firefighter, so he felt the deep loss of all of his brothers and sisters in the FDNY and, New York Police Department and the harbor, or I forget what it was called, but all the loss of life of all the first responders and everyone else that was who lost their life there. How he felt something so strong, and he didn't push it aside. He didn't he acted. He went to work with it. He talked about it with his coworkers, with his friends, with his boss at the time, and he was able to go and impact many, many, many lives. Like, he drove around the whole country, and he talks about this, raising money, selling t-shirts and trinkets and bracelets and all sorts of stuff to raise money to give directly to the fire department in New York City. Instead of it going to the Red Cross, he wanted it to go straight to the department so that they could do it however they wanted. And they raised, through that trip, over $100,000. It was about $140,000. And they were able to hand that in a check over to the fire department in New York City. Now, that's not, a business story, right? But the story and the moral of that story is, Each one of you has a passion, has a desire, has skills, has talents and abilities. And when you put your focus into sharing those passions, desires, skills, talents, and abilities to help serve other people and to help their lives be improved and level up as a result of yours, the money will come. Okay? I know not everything's about the money. I know that. In business, it is. If we don't have money, we don't have a business, and we go work a 9 to 5 for somebody else, right? But when you put that to work, you put it to work. Do you see the cap? When you put it to work, it's one thing to want and to have passion and to desire and have all these talents and skills. But if you do nothing with them, nothing will come from it. When you put them to work, amazing things happen. My dad in the story, again, I'm going to link it so you can listen to it. Like it's like 10 minutes long, but totally worth it. And then you can see my dad, and he's just a stud, and he's an amazing guy. But in his story, he had this feeling, and he took action. He put it to work. He called a manufacturing company that builds fire engines. And he found that there was one that was coming off, and they donated it to them to use, and they drove it around the country. They decorated it with all this stuff, right? And by doing that, and then a Dodge dealership donated some vans, and then a local RV dealership gave an RV to them so they could take their whole trip around the country and be able to have the support that they needed, all the people, all this kind of stuff. It was just incredible. But it didn't happen until he started taking the steps. Okay? And then, like, not only did they raise some money, but they raised over $100,000, almost $150,000 in just a matter of weeks to donate and give, right? Because they had a passion, they were acting upon it, and they were connecting with the people. People after September 11th, 2001, there was a unity in the country, in the United States, that I haven't seen ever since and hadn't seen before. And people bonded together. We shared our stories about where we were on that day and all these kinds of things. And so it's a perfect example how when you have the passion and the desire and you take action, and through that action you're connecting with hearts and you're talking with people and you're sharing your stories, money will flow, right? The whole purpose of that wasn't just to drive around the country and have a good time. They did accomplish that. It was solely to earn and raise money to donate to the fire department. Okay? So even in something that's totally heart-based and is an emotional thing, their goal was to raise money to be able to enrich the lives of the people that they were going to give it to, right? So with you and your business and your stories and everything that you're going and doing, it's okay to have that goal of earning or raising a lot of money because you can do so much good with it, right? And you can enrich the lives of your family and the lives of the people that you can teach and serve and all of those things. When you lead with your heart, that is what's going to get people to open their wallets, right? You can be logical. Like they could go and talk about these T-shirts and how they're this and this and this quality and all that stuff. No, and they would sell some, right? But is that the way to go about it? Absolutely not. They talk about the benefits of purchasing this. What is it going to do for them to have a reminder that they wear on their chest in a T-shirt? What are the benefits of the families and the people who are going to be receiving the funds that come from you buying that T-shirt? The same with your business. Every single one of you has started a business because you felt a need. You felt pain in your life. You saw an opportunity and you went with it. And you went all in, right? Some of you left corporate America. Some of you, dropped out of school because you didn't fit in there and you started your own business. Some of you went through school and got degrees and worked up the ladder and are now running companies. Like, there are all sorts of different reasons why we do the things that we do. If you want to sell more of your stuff and make more money, share that why. Share the benefits of what you do. Not just the features of what you do. The benefits are where you make the dollars. And in that experience that I just shared about my dad, it was no different. In a matter of a couple of weeks, they raised over $100,000. Like, it was $140,000, something like that, and gave it to the fire department. All because he followed his heart and went to work. With your business, follow here. You're going to have to use this, yes. But let this lead where you go and how you do things. And take action. Do the things that this tells you to. And good things will always follow. It might not happen in a couple of weeks. It might not happen in a few months. It might take a couple of years, 10 years, 5 years, who knows? But until you start taking the steps, you're not going to move closer to it. If you're unhappy working for somebody else, executing their dream, doing the things that they're telling you to do, if you don't like that, you can change it. That's how I got out of film. I loved the people I worked with. I loved the creative process, but I had no control. The only thing I had control of was saying yes or no to a project. I couldn't negotiate rates. I couldn't do the things that I wanted to. I set up lights and stuff because that's where I was good and that's where I made a name for myself, right? And it got to a point where I'm like, I can't support my family doing this. I'm wiped out and tired. I need to be able to make money. And some of my film friends were like, oh, you're just in it for the money. Oh, like there's nobility in being a broke artist, right? I would rather much be a wealthy artist and help people, For me, the money was a thing. I have 4 kids. We were living in a basement apartment. I wanted to get out of that. And I had been going full time and working and all that kind of stuff and still was only making like $35,000, $40,000 working on film. And I was exhausted. I did not want that. I was working hard, but working hard doesn't translate to success or wealth. It doesn't. You could be the hardest working garbage man ever, but you're not going to make millions of dollars if you stay on the garbage truck, right? Sorry. I just know that there are so many people who are not happy with where they're at. And they're so afraid to listen here, to listen to that voice that is telling them, do your thing, that they hold themselves back. This talks them out. The risk becomes too big, whatever it is, right? But when you listen with your heart and you take action, everything will fall into place. It's not going to be white picket fences and rose bushes and rainbows. No. You're going to fall. It's going to suck. It's going to be challenging. You're going to be ecstatic and then defeated and everything in between all in one day, right? But the thing that makes me so grateful is that we live in a time and I live in a country that allows me the freedom to be able to do that and pursue it if I want. And it's the same for you. I don't know exactly what it's like in other countries and stuff, right? I know every place has its challenges, but we have technology. We have this thing that binds us together. I sent an email out to my list. I have a list of like 800 people. And I sent an email out today just thanking them and having gratitude. How we live in a world where we can be connected thousands of miles apart from each other in an instant. We live in a world where our forefathers, our grandparents, or people who have passed on would look at the opportunities that we have now and they would just be like, their mind would be blown. We live in a time that people sacrificed and worked and did everything they could to make our reality, our present day, a reality, knowing that they may never ever see it in their lifetime. It's incredible. And now it's up to us to continue to run with that torch, to build a better world for our kids and for our kids' kids and everything like that. And yes, some of that involves people working in cubicles in offices. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do. And if you're happy and content there. If you're not, take hold and go with it. That is what I'm super grateful for, my friends. Each one of you that show up to these lives every day. Lance says it's about the attitude during the battle, not the battle. I'm going to throw that up on the screen. Absolutely true. What I am grateful for is you guys that show up every day, that watch me go on these little rants, that learn from me, that I get to teach, that send me messages, that we talk back and forth and all these kinds of things as you're building your business and as I can help. I absolutely love that I have that ability. I love that I am in battle with you guys, right? The battle that we fight as entrepreneurs is much different than anything that's fought on the battlefield of men and women that we celebrate and honor and remember today. But it is still life and death. The livelihood of our families, the living of our dreams, all hinges on what we do when we follow our hearts and take action. And when we don't, when we quelch it and we keep squishing it down and listening here and ignoring what's going on in our hearts, that is when the death happens of our dreams. I wasn't intending that to come out. But speaking from the heart, what we do as entrepreneurs, as husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, daughters, and sons, what we do every day has purpose, has implications, has repercussions, has consequences, both in the good and the bad. And the longer that we fight it and we do not take action, we don't do the things that we know we should, the longer we stay stuck, and the longer those that we serve stay in the dark. I love you guys. For real, I do. And I threw in a little bit of an entrepreneurial business story / revenue nugget in there for you. Let's give it up for that, huh? Hearts and thumbs ups for for finding a way to connect that in. But like, honestly, when you lead with gratitude and you focus on the things that you have, the abundance that's all around you instead of the lack that you have to go seek out, amazing things happen. The right people come into your lives. The wrong people drop out. You're able to say yes to the right things and no to the wrong things in confidence. And that has been a huge thing that was hard for me. It's been hard for me my whole life. But I really feel like I'm finally getting a grip on it. And good things have happened ever since. So, with that said, you guys, go out and impact the world. Go tell somebody, or as many people as you can, how grateful you are for them. I am grateful for those that hopped on. Tanya, Lance, Mark, Travis, and Eric. I don't know who's still on. There's only 2 on right now. And everyone who watches this in the replay, know that I am truly, genuinely grateful to have you in my life. Whether that's because we worked together in the past, you're one of my film buddies, you're somebody that I have just met through networking and through my new entrepreneurial paths, whether you're a funnel hacker or you're a client and a friend of mine or a family member. I am super, truly grateful for you. With that said, let's go out and fill and flood the world with our goodness. There are people waiting to receive it. Go out, share, love, serve, and make some money. Okay? So, thanks, Travis. Glad to call you friend and brother as well. We need to come down to San Diego and get some stuff done. So, go out and do it, you guys. It is absolutely worth it. You are worth it. And the things that you will see as a result will be incredible. Catch you in the next one.